Is there anything too hard? I don't think so. Oh, no. So many blessings. Lord has a blessing. So put it in the love of your heart. Oh, if I want you, I can never out. God's given so many times, I can't get out. I'm just a nobody, trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody. The world needs to save you. That's true, everybody. God's so amazing.
Yes, indeed. Chosen elect family. I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about someone who is true and divine. The world needs a savior now more so than ever. And if you know this, it's because you're rocking and rolling with your boy back on another journey to truth and life, where we utilize this power of truth to be set free from the chains of deception, this matrix of a situation that we're all fighting to get through. Trying to stabilize the camera. Nonetheless, I want to welcome you guys on. I did a short live stream a few moments ago just to kind of give you guys a circumstantial update on things that are happening in real time. The enemy desire to create counterproductive measures for those of us who are on a progressive road of to salvation, right? So, of course, everyone knows I drive 18 wheelers. I do logistics contracts, and on more occasions than one, the enemy have sent out agent provocateurs to sabotage my vehicle equipment. And today is no different. I stopped at a Flying J near the Denver, Colorado area on Interstate, just off Interstate 70, heading west. And I was bombarded with agents from the time I entered the Flying J truck stop to the time I left, only to realize that they had, you know, done at least significant enough damage to the truck to disable it. I was driving on this interstate just a mile or so back, and the vehicle completely shut off in the middle of 5-lane traffic. I was fortunate enough to have the Most High angels and Holy Spirit protection to guide me safely to the spot that I'm in right now. And, you know, it's unfortunate that we have to face these sorts of things, but the scripture warned us that we were going to be living in perilous times. So I wanted to talk about those perilous times that we're living in. I wanted to reference the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, so we can get an understanding of the mindset, the debaucherous, lascivious thinkers of society that we're dealing with. This is just absolutely ridiculous. All week long, the enemy's been on it. Every job that I have is infiltrated, and agent provocateurs are put in place in order to cause disruption and sabotage in my life. But all things work out for the good of those that love the Most High and is called according to his purpose. So They haven't been able to stop me yet. Over 10 years of the same after the same, you know. The enemy have no new tricks. So in the last 7 days, I've dealt with them trying to create psychological warfare, um, placing plants in my life from even here on the job. You know, I mentioned earlier that they had some gentleman who was a black guy, you know, so-called black guy. You know, there's a whole lot of black evil devils. Just because people are skin folks don't make them kin folks. You know what I mean? If you ain't got the right spirit, then you know we're on opposite side. And I'm not saying that the guy had an evil spirit. It's just that from my observation, he didn't have the Holy Spirit to be able to guide him into all truth. So therefore, a lot of people are deceived into being a puppet for the beast. You know, they're they're a puppet. They don't know. They just see things in a natural, carnal sense, and the enemy is able to manipulate and deceive them to be pawns in this game. So a lot of so-called house Negroes uh, for many, many years have been pawns inside plants in the Israel nation to offset those of us who are moving closer to our perfected destiny and so forth. So, um, yeah, that was an interesting situation. They wanted to draw me into a frivolous conversation about Donald Trump. I don't care about any so-called uh, political candidate because I know the truth. I know that presidents are selected; they're not elected. They're selected as all propaganda to get your dumb tail to buy into it. And if you believe it, then I feel sorry for you. You still haven't truly woken up in the Holy Spirit of truth to realize what's really going on. This world is a matrix. All these people going to and fro throughout the earth. What, who, and what do you think they are? You know, in the book of Job, when the Most High asked the Satans, you know, more than one, it says, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm going to and fro here and there throughout the earth, seeking whom I may devour." So you think these people are going to birthday parties, family events, barbecues? No, their entire purpose is to be organic portals for the spirits of darkness to get close to the elect, to either keep them deceived and caught up in the matrix, or to sabotage you once you wake up. This is their entire purpose. They're going to and fro as organic portals being shifted around in order to create the social atmosphere needed for the satanic spirits of the kingdom of darkness to do their biddings. And you can find that in the book of Job, chapter 1 and 2. They just go to and fro throughout the earth, seeking whom they may devour and destroy. That's all they are, organic portals, empty, soulless beings that look like humans. Just because the flesh don't make you human. You know, it's your soul, your mind, your will, your emotions, having the Holy Spirit of the Most High. You know, it's according to the scriptures, it is the Spirit of Christ that gives life. These are dead bodies that are on an automated satanic hive mind, capable of interacting with you well enough to deceive you into thinking that they are living beings. That's just why Christ responded to his disciples with the phrase, "Let the dead bury the dead." He knew they were just bodies that were organic portals for the satanic spirits to port in and out of. The spiritual realms, whether it's the spirit of light or righteousness, the Most High side, or the spirit of darkness, which is, the fallen one's side. They have to use flesh in order to interact in this world. The Most High gave the atom, atom, the physical dominion here in this realm, and He Himself don't even break His own rules. This is why Christ had to be born of the seed, the physical bloodline of David. But I'm kind of getting off track. This is for those of you who are advanced in the word and you know exactly what I'm talking about. These are just physical portals meant to deceive and distract those of us who are alive uh, due to the grace and faith in Christ. Um, they're just here to go to and fro throughout the earth. And as you can see, there's a lot of them going and coming on both sides of the interstate, um, to be in position wherever an elect is at. They create this fake illusionary Truman Show matrix all around you, and they're all in on it. Trust me. In the natural sense, we may see it as, oh, well, this is the National Defense Authorization Act, the Patriot Act turned Freedom Act in full effect, where the citizen population is being weaponized against certain distances, whistleblowers, or possible threats to the establishment of power and safety of the community. That is like a very low level, superficial way of analyzing this thing. On a spiritual sense, it goes much, much deeper than you could ever imagine. These people are on autopilot. Um, the fallen angels are back, and they have once again resurrected the Tower of Babel. What is the Tower of Babel? If you think they were building a physical stone tower made out of rocks like these mountains in order to get into heaven, then you are deceived. You are deceived. The scripture is metaphorical in a lot of sense. There are some literal things, and then there are some things that are allegorical. And you have to have spiritual discernment to understand the deeper meaning of what was going on in the book of Genesis, chapter 6. The Tower of Babel that they was building that would allow them to exalt themselves into the most high spiritual realm was technology, right? They had built the technology up to the height and to the point where they were able to deploy this spirit tech, or this spiritual technology, which I've done videos on, that allowed them to invade into the spiritual atmosphere. That's the reason why Christ tells the parable about the wedding feast and the one who shows up without the righteous garments of Christ into the spiritual realm of the bride, right? And he was cast out into outer darkness because the heavenly Father looked and said, how did you get here, right? How did you get into my kingdom, into my domain? And he had no response. And the Most High commissions his angel to grab that individual that was using this fallen angel technology and to cast him into the outer darkness, also known as the time loop continuum prison, and so forth. So, let's open up our minds and ask for Holy Spirit discernment. We're back here where the enemy have built up the Tower of Babel once again. The world is on one communication link, one speech or communication, as the scriptures say. They are hive mind. They're sharing thoughts, feelings, emotions. Get the book Spirit Tech. They're not hiding it. It's readily available. It's just most of my people, at least, don't read or research. And with this artificial intelligence technology, them being able to send out certain frequencies, which the devil, you know, the fallen one. I don't want to say his name. He's the prince and the power of the frequencies, the airwaves, the 5G, the 4G, the FM, AM, the ham frequencies, the 802.11 Wi-Fi frequencies, etc. You know, that's his domain. And through this technology, he's been able to link these soulless beings back to the artificial intelligence hive mind human net. And this is where we are. They're soulless, they're demonic, and they're conduits of the enemy. And the way that you can identify them, we're going to get to it right here in the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3. And it starts off uh, with the Apostle Paul giving revelation concerning these end times. And it says in verse 1, know this also that in the last days, these matrix days, these Truman Show days that we're living in, perilous times shall come. Perilous times. That's the only way to describe what we're facing. You know, how else would you describe agents being on your job, not there to work or to be co-productive, but to be counterproductive and to be a provocateur for enemy agenda, hidden agenda, right? It's not hidden when you have the eyes of Christ, though. Pearl is just the only way to describe that. Verse 2, it says, for these gang stalkers, they're not human beings, so I'm not going to call them that. You know, the scriptures use the word in the Adamu, I believe in the Hebrew, and I can't. Um, I believe in the Greek it might be humus. I'm going to have to second check that Septuagint, which is the Greek translation, and I believe this book of Timothy was translated in either Greek or Latin. So the Septuagint would be the Greek translation, and it uses the word men. But you know, truth be told, they're just organic portals. They're not people. I'm not going to call them humans because they're not human beings. They're demons in human flesh. So these demons, or SDIs, these soulless demonic individuals, shall be lovers of their own selves, covetousness. That means they want what you have. They want what you have. I don't care if you got a hoopty, they want to drive it. If you got some clothes, they want to wear it. Whatever you look like, they want to. I mean, whatever it is, they covet your stuff. This is why, come even in the music industry, at least in the hip hop, so-called Afro American, which is the Israelite culture music. What do these rappers rap about? They don't rap about their own girl. They rap about wanting your girl. You know what I mean? I'm stealing your girl. I got your girl in the cut. I'm spitting in her ear. You know, whatever it is, all kind of, you know, um, crap because they covet what you want. Why come you can't get your own woman? You know what I mean? They want what belongs to the righteous elect. Think about it. Just look up any artist who's a rapper in the satanic Hollywood music industry and who have sold their souls, signed their contract in blood. And by signing the contract in blood, I mean they have sacrificed family, friends, loved ones, strangers. I even heard a story by a homeless white lady, and I hate to use the word white, but sister, a light-skinned sister, let me put it that way, from the line of Japhet and Esau, um, tell me something that was very disturbing. This was many years back, and it, you know, it just crossed my mind. She said that, you know, she used to, she was in a very abusive relationship, And she's did say that she had been a runaway. She had gotten on some drugs, and I was listening to her because I could feel her soul. Right, she was a good person, and she said that she had been gotten caught up in a relationship with this soulless demonic demon that was into Gothianism, being gothic, vampire worship, and all that other crazy stuff. These people that dye their hair black, paint their fingernails black, and they wear black lipsticks, makeup, and upside down crosses and pentagrams and all that other crazy stuff, right? Um, and so forth. And she said the breaking point was they had a party, and they had like chips and dip and all this other stuff, and all this these gothic soulish demonic demons were there. She never felt right. It felt eerie, but she was deceived into being there because of her abusive demon boyfriend. Nonetheless, long story short, um, they had she said she bit into something, and she was like, what is this? She immediately took it out of her mouth, and he said that it was fried baby fingers. You know what I mean? Fried baby fingers. These people are cannibalistic, and they truly eat babies. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you the testimony of someone who literally went through this. And it's not just the low life gothic you know drug addict demons. It's high level politicians, corporate executives who are part of Bone and Skull, the Hellfire Club, and many of these satanic secret organizations that conduct pedophilia, child and baby rape, homosexuality, and many other debaucherous acts, um, in secret. This is what they do. They have to appease, their satanic masters. And what do their satanic masters want? The most evil, heinous, um, abominative things offered up as sacrifice. So back to you know, the rappers. If you listen to them, they want what you have. They want to be in silent competition with you. Their car. They got to tell you about how their car is better than yours. Their house is bigger and better, and not only do they have all these women, but they want your woman too. And you know what I mean. That trust me, they have the materialistic, fading illusions of this world, but we have the most valuable asset, and that's the salvation of our soul. They don't have that. They don't have a soul. Um, Continuing. So these satanic, soulless, demonic individuals, they go on to say, are boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, you know, and why would they be disobedient to parents? This one kind of baffled me for a little bit. Why would they be disobedient to parents? Because a lot of these entities, they may come through the womb of a woman, but that's not their real parent. Christ said, they're of their father, which is the devil. You know what I mean? So they may have a fleshly mother, a fleshly parent, but their father, and your father comes from the spirit, right? Either you're a child of the Most High, you're a descendant of Satan, right? Only two, wheat and tear, no in between here in this earth realm. Um, their father is the devil. Now they're obedient to him. Now to their physical parent, they are disobedient, but to their spiritual parent, they are in full compliance and obedience. It goes on to say that they are unthankful, unholy, without natural affection. Natural affection just means human emotions. So they don't care. You know what I mean? They may have the ability to look like they're smiling or enjoying or having variety of emotions. No, they have the emotions of a rattlesnake, of a cobra or a viper. That's about as much emotional capacity as these demons, these serpents in flesh, actually have. They don't have natural emotions. You know, if something's funny, I laugh. If something's sad, I cry. You know, if it's something joyous, I'm excited and full of joy. We have a heart or emotions after the Most High is reflective of the Most High, just like David. This is what the scripture verse meant when it says David was a man after the Most High's own heart or emotional construct, right? Um, So they're truce breakers. They're like, oh, you think they're at peace or they have come to some sort of truce or agreement with you? No, man, they're looking for the first opportunity they can find to stab you in the back. False accusers. Now, your boy MTAC have been accused of so many things. They brought in false witnesses, false evidence, you name it. They hack into my phones, try to gather audio clips and splice them and edit them together. And all this is done in through the deep state, through the FISA courts, through the FBI's and CIA's counterintelligence um, program, extrajudicial program, so that they can present whatever false narrative and make it look like whatever in the minds of the people. Not only have experienced this over the past 10 years, I'm currently experiencing this as I speak. So it says false accusers incontinent, meaning that they are incapable of being able to reason. They have no logic, fears, despiser of those that are good. If you're a good person, you're a good hearted person. You're not perfect, but at the basis, you have a good heart, just meaning you are made in the Father's image and likeness. And you reflect that. Here on earth, they hate that. They hate you. I mean, exponential hate. They have secret meetings about you. They have underground media groups, social media groups, where uh, the subject at hand, the topic of discussion, is a chosen righteous elect individual. And they may pretend like that they're neutral or they're trying to understand or whatever the case may be, but that's all a show. Truth of the matter is, these are psychological manipulators that are narcissistic, which is just another word for demonic, demonish, devilish, whatever you want to call it. And they hate you. They're just trying to deceive those who are lost in the world into thinking that, hey man, this person really don't have bad intention. Yes, they do. Demons always have demonic intentions. No way around it. Um, verse number 4: traitors, heady, thinking they think with their head, not their heart, high-minded. They think high of themselves. They think they're better than you, just the same way that their father, they're reflective of their father. Their satanic, Luciferian, demonic father, he thought he thought he was better than the Most High. He wanted to exalt it his throne above the Most High, and that's why he's doomed for destruction, right? So the same way they, their satanic father looked at the Most High and was like, "Oh, I think I'm better than you." They look at the children of the Most High and they think they're better than us. They think they're smarter than us, more clever. And I see right through it. You know, I pretend, I play dumb, I play ignorant, like I don't know. But I'd rather be a wise man who pretends to be ignorant and dumb than to be a dumb, ignorant person who pretends to be wise, right? And these are people who, through their deceptive educational institutes, have been deceived into thinking that they're wiser, better, smarter, whatever, than the righteous. But in their heart of hearts, their stone cold hearts, they know the truth. Lovers of pleasure more than lovers of the Most High Yah. So they love the pleasures of this world. You know, this is why they would never give up the lust of the eye, lust of the flesh, and the pride of life in order to submit their ways into Yah. This is just the truth of the matter. Having a form of godliness or goodness, right? They look like they're on the right track. Hey, man, they're just community policing volunteers or citizens, right? Or retired military and police. Um, FBI agents trying to secure the safety of the community. That's got to be a godly thing. No, they're out to steal, kill, and destroy. This is why come many women, um, men, and children have been destroyed, been assassinated underneath their so-called godly acts, such as the Patriot Act, have killed and assassinated many. 75,000 plus black women have come up missing, kidnapped, is being organ harvested in some sort of government lair somewhere. Babies are kidnapped. When they, um, find a human mother with children, they're going to put her in a compromised position, take her children, and then her children will go to foster care. They will take the real children, and who knows, after they've raped them, and molested them and tortured them and drank their blood for the adrenochrome, they will take their DNA and make some sort of hybrid clone replacement of that child to make it seem like they've never done anything to that child. But this is what's happening in the world. You know what I mean? They're kidnapping the women, harvesting their organs, using their ovaries to reproduce themselves, taking the tiny little children, raping them. It don't matter if it's, especially if it's a little boy child. I mean, these pedophiles, they're homosexual, demonic monsters, and that's what they do. They rape little. As a matter of fact, in the book of either Jeremiah or Lamentations, it says that they have given a little boy to be a harlot. They've given the girl for wine, for their own self joy and pleasure, but for the little boys, they've, you know, they're doing things that would make you vomit. I know it makes me want to vomit. When the Most High opened up my eyes to what they're actually doing, these so-called politicians, these so-called law enforcement, these people, not all of them, but the majority of them that are part of these secret societies, man, you have no idea how sick they are. You know, why do you think they're promoting this transgender, transhumanistic agenda so heavily? They don't want to just merge the flesh with technology. They want to completely transform the uh, earthly species into everything opposite of the Most High's creative intentions. So it goes on to say, but denying the power thereof. For of these sorts are they which do what? Creep into houses and lead captive silly or women who are asleep, women laden with sin. And I just said that I had completely forgot that verse was coming up, but that's exactly what they do. You know, you Israelite women that are out there, you're coming up missing. You know what I mean? You're coming up missing. The enemy hates the black woman more than I mean, he hates the black man too, but he hates the Israel. Well, I ain't gonna say he hates you. He kind of envy you. They want to be you. That's why come they're turning their sick creation into women, and they're stealing your melanin and injecting it into them so that they can appear to be something like the black woman. They're giving them kinky hair. They're stealing and extracting the melanin from your blood and injecting them in these facilities. I'm telling you the truth. It sounds crazy, but this is what's going on. I mean, and you're out here wondering why come there ain't very many men left to choose from to have you as a husband, and it's because they're killing us off. The rest of them, they're turning to homosexuals. YouTube, this is not hate speech. This is truth speech. And unless you hate the truth, then, you know what I mean? This is love speech. If you love the truth, then this is love speech, not hate speech. But what they're doing is for the men who's supposed to take their Israelite women as their wives to have them, to nourish them, to care for them, to provide and protect them. They're trying to kill us off. They're throwing us on these psychotic programs. They're spreading all sorts of lies, rumors, and propaganda about us. And they'll probably use this video to say, hey, look, he's psychologically compromised or whatever the case may be underneath OSHA threat and mental health lying legislations they have created, whatever. I'm still going to speak the truth because I don't care. This whole system is a lie and it's twisted and diabolical. But that's what's happening, and they're turning the rest of them into what? They're trying to turn them into women. That's what's really going on. Trust me. I mean, for some weird reason or another, the satanic government have more homosexual gang stalkers following me than anything. And this has been going on for over 10 years. You know what I mean? I'm assuming they think, hey, man, this guy's going to snap. He's going to hurt one of them and we'll have a 2-for-1. One dead, demasculated, um, uh, you know, creature and a chosen elect who folded underneath the pressure. No, that's not going to happen. I'm just going to continue to pray that the Most High deliver these confused minded or Babylon minded individuals, these sodomistic individuals, and bring them into the fold of salvation of Christ. And that's what I'm going to do. I see it as an opportunity to minister, well, not to bring the truth, whether you call it minister or what, to them, to speak a word of life, to resurrect their souls from the grave. That's what it is. But that's what's going on is Satan is turning these men into women, and he's turning a lot of these women into, you guessed it, into men. Now, I was reading an article, and apparently they're able to do penile transplant surgery. They have conducted the first successful, and this was like a 2-year-old article, by the way, penile donor transplant surgery. Imagine that, how sick that is. You go to the bathroom and, they're standing up urinating, and you think Oh well, it had to be born a man. No, they're doing penile donor. Go look this stuff up, man. Don't be in the dark. You know, the truth is out there. And that's just what this is. These people are in my device because they don't want this truth to come out. Wow. But your boy MT is off on a tangent. I had no intentions on doing a live stream any this week, but unfortunately, due to the enemy doing what he does, breaking down my vehicle, keeping me from being productive, then here I am. So, yeah, you Israelite women that are out there are probably wondering, where are all the real men? You know what I mean? Back when I was growing up, and I grew up in poverty in the projects in the gutter. You know, we were so poor, the poor people called us poor. This is the reality of it. Um, you know, um, but one thing about it, even in our impoverished community, you saw the man woman family construct. And this was in the 80s and the 90s and early 90s. You know what I mean? They had plenty of struggles. I'm not saying that, but you saw the women. They actually had a man in the household raising their children. He might have drunk or whatever the case may be, went to work or whatever, but it was a similitude of what the Most High had intended for traditional family, godly structure. Nowadays, you don't see that. Nowadays, you see legislations being passed for same-sex couples, and no um, hate speech here, but just stating the facts. Legislations that been passed so that uh, same-sex couples who cannot obviously have a child naturally um, amongst themselves are giving priority for adoptions for child. Look up the what is it? Man, uh, Child Care Foster Home Act or something like that. Just Google it, and you'll see your boy MTAC isn't just rattling off the top of his head. Everything that I'm telling you is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the Most High Yah truth. You know, so these are the times we're living in, and for some reason or another, Satan have commissioned all his agencies, whether it be the FBI, CIA, Homeland Security, or just deceive people in this world. He's given them the commission to harass me for whatever reason or the other. And this is where we are. And pretty sure if you're a chosen elect, he's commissioned them in your life to um, offset you from your goal and your destiny in the Most High Yah. See, we are at 44 minutes, so I'm not going to hold you guys up long. I thought maybe some of you who are in the audience would have some comments, some questions, or something out there. If there's anyone who have a question for your boy MTAC before we close, uh, please do so. I'm just going to hurry up and finish this passage before get off. It goes on to say they're ever learning, always educating themselves, but never able to come into the knowledge of the truth. The truth is, we live in the matrix. This is Satan's world. It's wicked, it's evil, it's twisted. There is no justice. There is no peace in this world. As a matter of fact, when they call or say peace, peace, There be certain sudden destruction, and that's just the reality of it. There's no justice. I know because I've been trying to sue Schneider and Emoto and the FBI for quite some time, and I can't seem to get my case off the court. They spread lies, rumors, and other propagandas. And my birth certificate and many other substantial evidence was um, attempted to be destroyed. That's called obstruction of justice. It's a crime, by the way. And it says, ever learning but never able to come into a knowledge of the truth, just as Jannes and Jambres. Now, these were Egyptian sorcerers mentioned of in the book of Jasher, withstood Moses. They're the ones who threw their staves down and turned them into separate serpents in order to try to imitate the power of the Most High. And the Most High allowed Moses' staff to swallow up their staffs. That's Jannes and Jambres. You can find that in the book of Jasher. Um, it goes into deeper details. So do these men resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds reprobate concerning the faith. But they shall proceed no further. Their time is short. This system is about to be destroyed. The banks are collapsing. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, we're at the end. There's I don't even know if there's going to be another election, but if there is another election, it's going to be all out anarchy and pandemonium and chaos. The U.S. is going to be completely divided. This is why come they have implemented admiral and martial law, because they know this next election is going to end up in all out warfare. Um, and that's pretty much what that is. Now, I have nothing to do with it. I'm not political. I don't even vote. I don't even care about any of that stuff. I just keep up with the narrative in order to have relevant information to make this gospel of truth, which is the word of Yah, relevant to those trying to figure this thing out, what is going on in the world. That's why I keep up with the, you know, um, whatever the nation's events or hot button topics, or whatever you want to categorize them as. And it says, but they shall proceed no further, for their folly shall be manifest or known to all men. Meaning, we all see it now. We know exactly what's going on. We're not fooled. You can try to hide it in plain sight. It's no longer hidden. Our eyes have been opened, and the righteous and elect, we see right through this veil like a glass window. It says, well, I'm just going to jump down to verse 13. It says, but these evil, soulless, demonic individuals and these honeypot seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. It's so bad they had a honeypot try to call me. Now it was like 4 or 5 different, female voices that they was putting on this one phone call. And this was like maybe 2 weeks ago. And they try to draw me into some sort of twisted conversation, and I just stayed talking about the word of the Most High. You know what I mean? And I knew from the beginning the Most High said, just go ahead, answer the phone call, and I'm going to get the glory. Don't prepare what you're going to say. The Holy Spirit's going to speak through you. So I answered the phone, acted ignorant, and the entire time the enemy was trying to create some sort of false narrative or propaganda. I just allowed the Holy Spirit to use me as a vessel of the Most High in order to bring him glory, in order to tell the truth and shame the devil. And this is what we must do. The same way a couple of days ago, they had the black gentleman, um, you know, being used as an agent provocateur, trying to draw me into political conversations about Donald Trump and Joe Biden, etc. And I'm like, hey, look, man, you know, I don't care about that stuff. It's all propaganda. The real entities that control this country, you know, the uh, offspring of the fallen, you'll never see them. The Council of Foreign Relations, the Council of 300, the IMF bankers, the Bilderberger Committee, you know, Bone and Skull, all that, you would never see these people, right? These are the ones in high places, wickedness in high places, the offspring of the fallen. You know, your president, your congressmen, your mayors, they're nothing more than puppets to keep you drawn into the deception. You know, while you're being deceived and caught up on that, these organic portals are just vessels going to and fro throughout the earth, destroying your blind behind when they catch you off guard. This is the reality of truth. Also tried to draw me into a conversation about the Ja Morant, which is, you know, it's some 22, 23-year old um, basketball um, icon that plays for the Memphis Grizzlies, and him supposedly constantly getting caught on camera with guns. I'm like, hey, look, that's just hidden propaganda. They want gun control, right? And this young black gentleman, Israelite gentleman, who's blind, I wish I could talk to him and say, hey, man, you're being deceived. You're surrounded by entities of darkness that are there to use you as you know um, as a false narrative for this de-arming the population propaganda. You know, truth of the matter is, John Moran is a multimillionaire. He have no reason to rob anybody, shoot anybody, to hold anybody up. As a matter of fact, he didn't break any laws. Name one law that he broke. You know, he flashed a gun on Instagram and was like, hey, you know, I got a gun. So what? Every 2 or 3 miles I drive on the interstate, there's a gun store advertisement billboard. There's gun shows all over. Heck, I endorsed the Second Amendment. You see what I'm saying? You think these police are going to give up their guns? The police, the feds, and the military have more guns, ammunitions, and weapons of mass destruction than everybody else combined. And that's just here in the United States. You know what I mean? And they're always walking around flashing their weapons, trying to intimidate at least the black community or the Israelite community. I know they was always flashing their guns in my face, and that was before there was an Instagram or an internet even popping off. And they're not in the news. You know what I mean? And I know for a fact they've shot, killed, and maimed many of us unarmed individuals who pose no threat. You see it all the time. They're murderers. They go overseas with their guns and they kill men, women, and children by the hundreds of thousands, slaughter them with missiles and other weapons, and they're exalted as war heroes just so that these deceivers, these covetous, soulless, demonic entities in high places can have access to oil, more power, and whatever else they crave. Uniquely Made Warrior is in the building. She said, what's up, MTAC? What's going on? Uh, give it up for Queen Uniquely Made Warrior, who is in the building. You know, Uniquely Made Warrior, you want to jump on for a second? Because I'm just up here ranting and going off and so forth. And I want to know, you know, what's your position on what's going on in the world? I have some questions. Do you mind coming on? Right now, you ain't got to be on camera or anything like that. We just want to, um, you know, get some of that wisdom that the Most High has bestowed on you. You know, what do you make of all this craziness? If you can't come on for just a couple of minutes, let me know and I'm post the link in the live stream. If y'all have any questions for your boy MTAC, now's the time to ask them, and I will elaborate on them. Like I said, this live stream have no particular format. I just wanted to share with you guys what was going on in my life as I'm stuck here. Been stuck here for 2 hours on the side of Interstate 70, just west of the wicked demonic city of Denver, Colorado, which is absolutely demonic. There's some sort of demonic aura. It's a gloom. You can see. You see that? You know, it's like this every time I come here. It's like some sort of dark gloominess or just hovering over this region of the country. So, yeah, I'll give just a few minutes just in case someone wants to hop on or ask a question. But this is where we are, man. Um, Privileged times, as we started off mentioning in the book of Second Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. In these last times, privileged. Don't fall for that narrative, man. Start asking questions. You know, say, hey, what do a 23-year-old kid, that they're paying millions of dollars because they're excellent distractions for those who are still asleep in the matrix or want some sort of relief of entertainment and a mental escape, right? So the enemy will pay them millions of dollars to bounce a ball around and to jump up and slam dunk. Guess what? I grew up in the projects. I grew up in the gutter. I grew up around thousands of Ja Morants and LeBron James. It practically any one of us you could pick out of the tribe of Judah. And like I said, the testaments of Judah was taken out of the original or not included in the original canon for a reason. It tells you that the offsprings of Judah was very athletic. As a matter of fact, one of the testaments said that he outran a man on a chariot. He outran a horse on. No, that's just in our genetic makeup, right? You know, I wasn't even the fastest person in my community, and I had at least a 4.443. I ran like a low 4.443, and that was without even trying. Just clocking and not even prepping or eating anything or nothing. Them saying, "Hey, we're going to clock you in a 40," and me getting out there when I was like 16 years old and taking off running, and them clocking my time. It was like a 4.34, something like that I ran. Believe it or not, and I wasn't even the fastest. It was people in my class that ran like almost a 4.2. You know, um, and it's just amazing that the enemy will use entertainers, rappers, football players, basketball players to distract the chosen elect from the truth. Welcome on. Are you on?
I am. Can you hear me?
Trying to add you, and these demons don't want me to add you.
Can you hear me?
Let me try. All right. It's telling me that you're on, but I
Can you
don't
hear
see
me?
you, and I can't hear you. Okay, here you come. Here you come. It's kind of slow buffering on my end. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not, but just stay on. I'm just going to try to reset it because they're in my stuff.
Hello? Shalom, shalom, everyone. Case, I think
Yeah,
I'm on. It says I'm
yeah,
in the
shalom.
show.
Okay. I can hear you, but right now. So can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, yes, indeed. Welcome on, Queen. I'm glad you hopped in this joint because I'm going off on a rant. To be honest, I'm kind of upset. You see what these
Oh, I know.
demons have done. You know, they
I
got me
know.
broke down once again.
Wow. That wow. All by design. These damn demons, yo. I'm telling you, they at work, boy. They are at work.
They never stop, man. This is what they're doing. You see them? People think these folks are heading to work or doing something productive. Man, no, these are the demons that go to and fro throughout the earth, seeking
That's
whom
right.
they may devour. You
Devour.
know,
That's right.
as it. These are soulless demonic individuals. These are some deceived puppets. And whenever I talk to them, at least they are so sleep, man. You know what I
Oh,
mean? I
yeah.
pass out these
Oh,
fly.
yeah.
I pass out these flyers, you know what I mean? These community warning flyers that talk about this psychological warfare operation, deception, and electromagnetic anti-personal assault being ran by the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, CIA, NSA, Department of Defense, and Department of Justice. They read over this. They know I know what's going on, and guess what? These idiots, they don't care. They just want that paycheck.
That's
They're
right.
gonna continue to do it. They done sold their soul for this thing. So let me ask you a question. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, where you live, do you experience sabotage of your equipment, phone hackings,
Oh, yeah.
etc.? Is it
I got so many recordings on with Apple right now. So they are sellouts too. They all working. They all under the same umbrella with these devils. Like all these phone companies are. I was with T-Mobile. I done been with numerous companies. I done had numerous phones. They infiltrate each and every one of them. Of course. Right now I'm locked out of my Mac computer laptop because that's a computer that they knew my dad and myself was very close. My father is now deceased. All of our memories, videos, and everything is in that laptop, and they locked me out of it. Yeah. Mhm.
wow,
I had to buy a
wow?
whole new laptop. Yeah.
So I mean, is there any way that you can like get the videos and stuff distracted? Because that's a lot to lose.
Well, the mofos that's supposed to be like they sends me to the geek squads and Best Buy and all this goofy stuff. But I just been in Best Buy. What's the day? Saturday, Friday, Thursday. Thursday, I was in Best Buy because I was told by Apple, one of the Apple consultants over the phone, because I don't have an Apple store here in Florence, South Carolina. The closest ones is Charlotte or Charleston, which is like 2 hours and some change away from me. So they told me as well as that I can go to Best Buy because my phone is getting hot to the touch for no apparent reason. I could just be on YouTube watching a video. Next thing you know, my palms are sweaty. My phone is hot as hell. It won't charge over 80. I got the fast charge, which is $40. You buy this charger, that's $40 for these iPhones, and it charges your phone very fast. Well, when I'm outside my home, my phone charge, everything works just like it's supposed to. Not the service on the phone, but when it comes to charging. But when I come here home, it stops at 80%. Apple tried to tell me it's optimizing I optimize my battery in the settings, which I never did. And I let them, I shared my screen with them when I called them. I shared my screen. I even had Apple watching my videos how my phone was being manipulated, but they always find an excuse saying, "Well, maybe it's apps on your phone." They know what's going on, but they're gonna play you as a fool or like you don't know better. Like I told them when I first got my phone, ain't even a year old yet. I just had an 11 iPhone, which I traded for the 13, and everything that happened on my 11 happened on my 13. Now the first 2 weeks of me getting this 13, I had no issues with the phone. The phone worked like I felt like a normal being. My phone, having my phone. The first 2 weeks after that, it's a done deal. I just did a factory reset at Best Buy on Thursday. My phone charged and worked for just a little while, probably about
You
a good
know, and
3 hours.
everything you just said, I believe 150. 100% because I'm going through the same thing and been going through it. I spent to say $10,000. That'd be a low budget over the past 10 years. I've been targeted.
Right.
That would be low budgeting. You know, I went from like AT&T to Sprint, from Sprint to Verizon, uh, T-Mobile, you name it. And each time I would have to buy my way out of the contract. I would have to pay off the phone because you know when you're in a contract early, you have to pay full price of the device, right?
Right.
So you know what I mean. Like, so if the phone was like $800, you know what I mean, it's free if you stay in like a year or 2 year contract. But if you know you break that contract before time, you got to pay full price. That happened over and over and over again. You know what I mean? I have the documents in order to prove it. This is all part of my civil suit in court.
Hmm.
And they just kept on hacking in there, and they're still doing it to this day. And it's not until I found out about the FISA 702 um, legislation that I even became aware that apparently it's legal now for the FBI and the NSA to hack into our phones at will. You know, and these companies, they're in full compliance. You have no
Exactly.
privacy. You know what I mean? And this is just
Exactly.
where we at.
I'm gonna
And
let
while
you.
this is going on, they want to distract us, man. They want to bring these agent provocateurs. You know how they do it,
Uh-huh.
to try to draw you into some sort of crazy conversation. Now you just cuss them out and pretty much slap their teeth out their mouth. You know what I mean? But
Okay.
but you know, I try to be like, hey, I'm just gonna, it's not that I don't want to do it and I can't do it. It's just I'll be like, hey, you know what? Me being a black man, they want me in jail. So, you know what I mean? That's the avenue they want me to take. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So the moment that I raise my voice or something, they like, oh, look at another black aggressive man. We need to. That's why we need to watch him, right? So it'll fit into the false stereotype of who I am, and it's completely untrue, right? I have no criminal background, no violent background, none of that, right? I would
Right.
have a arrest record to prove that, or if you went back to my school days, I would have suspensions for fighting all the time in school. That don't exist, right?
Right.
Um, but nonetheless, they send these lately they've been sending these agent provocateurs to bring up these distracting conversations talking about John Morant flashing a gun and all this other stuff. I'm like, I don't care about these so-called entertainers. They're nothing but distractions. You know what I mean?
That
They
part.
want to talk about these people like either Joe Biden, Donald Trump is the answer, man. And they don't understand. So I want you to give your take on it. Like these so-called celebrities and politicians. What do you think of them?
I don't think nothing of them besides they are all workers for this devil. They are all put in place for the whole agenda, for distractions, just like you stated. I don't believe in no political these political parties, because again, it's not a election, it's a selection, and everything that they bring before us is all working against us. They tell us they sing us a good ass, sorry for cursing, but they bring us these lies before they get in these cheers. But once we a lot of the masses get manipulated into the lies, they go run and vote, which again, they votes don't even count because they're gonna put in who they're gonna put in. But it's all about control. These demons that's in the White House are controlled by a shadow government, which is the devil. These ages. I mean, I watched that thing on Netflix I was telling you about, Inside Job, where literally the television tells you what's going on. Where they watch the news, that's entertaining. When you watching these movies and stuff that they're putting out here, that's what's really going on. Okay. So with all that being said, I have nothing nice to say about whether it's these political parties, these presidents, or these entertainers. That's why I don't watch television, because it tells Satan's vision. It's all lies from the pits of hell.
Absolutely. And you're spot on. That's the truth, nothing but the truth. And you can use whatever language you want to on this channel. feel free to express
I
yourself.
know.
That's just what that is. People be like, "Hey, you let your kids cuss?" I sure do. I
Wow.
let them express themselves to me. I just so happen to have taken this vow because, the story for those of you who don't know your boy MTAC, I actually used to cuss, not curse, because a Bible speaks against not cursing your brothers and sisters. That's CURSE, not cuss, CUSS, which is just a made up, word magic term that these bastards use to deceive the righteous and elect
Exactly.
as a teenager. And so, what stopped me is I had moved to a new school district and I had gained a little popularity by being the new guy. And so, you know how, you're a young teenager and you're acting grown and you're using grown folks' language and so forth. And so a group of my peers had done walked with me to my home. This is before I got my vehicle. And I was, standing outside in the yard and I'm just cussing up a storm. And my mama opened up the door and the screen door was still shut. She was standing right behind me, listening to everything I was saying. Now, she had never heard me talk like that before. My so-called um, classmates, they would hear me talk like that all the time. And so she was so disappointed. She stopped talking to me for a week, and I promised her that I would watch my language. So, after she passed, that's why I personally try not to use that language, but every now and again, I cuss these bastards out.
I know that's
Trust me.
right.
Yeah, trust
Because
me.
we can't do nothing else. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
it's to the point where, like, granted, I pray it don't be going against us, which, like, you just broke it down. We're not cursing people. We're using cuss words, but that's all. That's the only defense mechanism that we literally can do is besides recording these demon pieces of shit. That's all we can do, you know. And that's my thing. I just was talking to one of my old clients that's being gang stalked as well, and it's like it's one thing that I used to fight bullies for people that was being taken advantage of, to the point now I'm being bullied and I can't do nothing more than record these demons. That's it. I can't, because that's what they
because
want.
because the satanic law of the Babylonian snakes of America is on their side. It protects the wicked.
Right.
Why oppressing the just is the same way. That's the reason why I say this. I'm an Israelite. I don't follow Christianity, but I'm an Israelite. Second generation. If my brother was on here, he'll tell you I'm telling you the truth. My mother, she was an Israelite. She always said, "Hey, you guys are from the tribe of Judah. We're the original Jews, whatever the case may be." And it wasn't until after I got grown that I began to really take it serious. I got nothing against Christianity. I worship with them, fellowship, Christian, Muslims, whatever. You know what I mean? Each person have their own path, and if it leads you to being closer to the Most High and make you a better person, then hey, stick with it.
That's
I
right.
support you. You know what I mean?
Right.
However, our Hebrew mother tongue, our native Most High given language, was taken from us, and we was forced to speak this evil English. Now, what do English mean? It research your boy and leave a comment and tell me if I'm wrong. But this is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The word English comes from the word English, which comes from the two groups of the European groups, the Anglos and the Saxons. Now, the Anglos were descendants of the Horites, meaning the descendants of the fallen angels. So, Anglos, meaning angels, like Los Angeles, meaning Los Angels, was like the Latin word that meant the language of the fallen angels. And the Saxons got in bed with them. So when the children of Esau, which were the Sykes clan in Europe, ended up interbreeding with the Horites, which were the Anglos, which spoke the language of the angels. Then they spoke English. It was spelled with the A. And before they did the word magic and added the E and made it English. You know what I mean? Um, Go look it up, research it, and see if I'm lying. It's the truth. It's in their text. This isn't something I even researched in the Bible. I verified it later on in like the Book of Enoch, etc. But this is stuff that I learned while I was in school because I would actually read the books. They couldn't just hand me a book in the classroom and say, "Hey, I'm gonna test you and believe this stuff." No, I was going to go do in-depth research, etc. That's why I got kicked out of class, not for being disruptive, not for being bad, but for actually reading the stuff and pointing out the lies, deceptions, and the MK Ultra mind control that these institutionalizations had plotted for us, and so forth. But long story short, this whole English language, which is what it really is, this fallen angel language is a curse. And the scripture says, you know what I mean? It would be our curse. So I don't care what word you're using. If you're not using what the Most High naturally given us, you know what I mean? You're speaking, it's a cursed, CURSE language, right? It's the language of slavery. And you know what I mean? And I have nothing against it. I'm not anti-American or, any of that stuff. I'm just a person that walk in the truth, and that's just what it is. So another question that I got, are you still on that?
I'm
Can you
still
still
here.
hear me?
I'm still
Okay.
here.
All right. These low down, dirty, so called house Negroes, you know, do you ever deal with them, these sellouts in our community that get paid to do the most evil, heinous, dirty things to their own people, even after we went through 400 years of slavery? Do these so called house Negroes, um, do they come at you? Do they torment you as well? Because a lot of time it's our own people.
Yeah, well, I get them, but I don't give these. Listen, when it comes to me, like I was just telling Mama, I call her Mama Rose. You know who she is. That's
Yeah.
going through the same thing where she find it in her heart to be, skinning and grinning with a bunch of people that she know for sure don't like her. As for me, see, they don't try. I believe they go by. They study us, so they already know who I am. And like these people in my community, they know who I am. Like I have a whole family that done moved and live in the curve of my street. They don't work, they don't leave home. I am their job. I mean, and one of them is supposed to be a RN, a nurse, and now all of a sudden she don't work. They getting upgrades to their homes. Everybody getting new cars and all of that. So one day I took my dogs outside to use the restroom, and she was right in front of my house across the street to the neighbor that's basically like the head captain of this community policing. He's a Mason and he's a faggot, okay? And I'm not sugarcoating that. He's a faggot, okay? Um, so he
They'll say that's hate speech and try to delete this channel. So
Oh, I'm
YouTube,
sorry.
we're not.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
we're not.
bad.
No, we live in a day and an age where you can't really express yourself, and they protect them more. I mean,
Okay,
those
you're
in
right.
if you say anything against them or the other people who call themselves, us, those people over there in the Israeli state,
Hmm.
if you talk against any of them, it's hate speech, and they're coming. That the government is going to come after us. So, for YouTube, as you're reviewing this, we're not trying to use any sort of negative language towards anybody.
Disclaimer.
We're just we're just we're just trying to express ourselves, and we're kind of disturbed concerning this homosexuality agenda that is trying to be pushed on us, and how these homosexuals are literally being weaponized against us, the people. You know what I mean? If that's their
Right.
lifestyle, I don't care what they do as long as they don't bring it over here. They bring it over here, and they might get punched in the nose. You know what I
That's it.
mean?
That's it. I'm
You
gonna call
know?
them zings for now on. Just call them a zing. These zings. I'm gonna say the zing
Okay,
across the
there we
street from
go.
me. Yeah, the zing across the street from me. He's like the block captain. A lot of the cars, I have a masonic lodge that's not even 5 miles from my home. Where I see a lot of the cars that's on videos that I've uploaded. They're there. They have fish fries and parties. Well, same as those cars be at the lodge, they be on my block right here when he throw parties and gatherings and whatever. So, however, I was saying this, the family that moved from Philadelphia, and it seemed like they bring in their whole family, entire family, but nobody works. They upgrading homes, they get new homes put in my community, and nobody leaves the house. Okay, well, this one chick was over there talking that she normally speak to me. Her mom, when I was trying to figure it all out, and I know my church start where I realized I was being gang stalked. I was in church, just got baptized, just joined the church. All of a sudden, a bunch of weirdos start coming into church, look like agents, with these little cords in their ears that the president agents be having, these little telephone wires that they got the little microphone, I guess, in their ear, just started coming to that church and always monitoring me. Long story short, the chick that moved, the family that moved from Philly, now me and the young lady, we used to talk. You understand? Because I was just trying to figure things out. But then now that I know what's going on and I know who is against me, and it's the whole community, the whole county, everywhere I go, I don't care if I leave here and go to Texas, I'm being flocked with a bunch of these gang stalkers, okay? But she didn't speak to me long as she was talking to the block captain of this community policing. But when she's just walking her dog, it's like she want to have conversation. So just last week, she walked by walking her dog, and it's like she's smiling and grinning with me and waving her hand. But I just bust out a laugh and told her, "Get the F out of here." I said it. I did. And they already know. So they don't play up in my face because they know I know what's going on, you know? They know I know.
Exactly, exactly. They know who to approach and who not to approach. I guess my profile must said, "Oh, he's an easygoing, nice individual," so you can pretty much come in his face and disrespect. You know what? If you're a gang stalker and you're watching this channel, either currently or at a later date, please don't believe that lie, because the Holy Spirit is a restrainer, and you know He have restrained me. But the fleshly side of me, if it get loose, I don't know what might happen. You know what I mean? You know, that's just for
Mhm.
any of us. It says, "Don't tempt the Most High Yah." You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? I have no intentions of hurting anyone, but I will defend myself.
I know
You
that's
know what I
right.
mean?
Hmm.
And so, don't come around the righteous, the chosen, and elect and think it's all, sweet. It ain't like
Like
that. Not at all. You know what I
that
mean?
part.
So just, it says, if you want respect, you got to give some. So, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If
That
you don't
part.
want nobody disrespecting you, then please don't come up in our face with that disrespect, because you never know what might happen. You're just assuming and hoping that we stay, um, you know, cool, calm, and collective. And for the most part, I actually have, you know. But at the same time, if you put your hands on me, MTAC is going to take this big, jet black, cold black Israelite fist and knock you out. You know what I mean? You, you know what I mean? And don't forget about uniquely made warrior either.
That part, they know. I'm
Yeah.
sure they know out here. I even got these so-called wannabe drug dealers, what gangster, so-called gangsters, all that. That's who tells me. But now you look at them, you got the ones just getting out of prison. They got 18 wheelers in their yard or on the side of the road that they're driving because they are getting these monetary gains, getting jobs. You know, they clearing them for these jobs when they know they got a whole record. I have a cousin, the one that's on my YouTube, because I don't discriminate. If you're working against me, I don't give a dog on about blood run. We got the same blood running in our veins, the same. If I know you're working against me, you're gonna be exposed, and that's just period. So he never went to school for electrician. He studied changing his Mustangs like he's changing his drawers. But now he's putting up light poles and dealing with electricity and don't have no background. He's a youngin. Him and my son is the same age. Just they are giving them these insensitives and this monetary gain or jobs or upgrades on their home or new cars. This is what I see right here in my own community. as well as with my own family member.
And you know what? You're not alone, because I got a lot of family members that are close to me that can't even have any dealings with me anymore, because they have sided with this beast system,
Mm-hmm.
and they know I know who they are. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Some of them are even part of secret societies. I didn't even
Mm-hmm.
know that until after, this targeting program initiated. But,
Mm-hmm.
my family is the family of, yeah, I don't care if you're brown, black, um,
That's it.
white or yellow, you know what I mean? If you're a child of the Most High, you're going to be a righteous person. You're not going to be out to harm nobody, to spread lies, rumors, to harass and torment folks. I don't care if you're getting gifts, gratuities, housing, whatever it is, it's just not worth it, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And the same thing is happening in my community. They move in these agents, and I've done videos in the community. They don't go to work. I don't. Whenever I'm at home, I was homeless for a long time, but whenever I'm at the house that the Most High opened the door for me to be in, like, they never go to work. You don't never see them get up in the morning, and I am their job.
That's what I'm about to
Tormenting
say.
me
Yep.
is how they get paid.
Yep.
24 hours a day. They're, if I go walk outside and act like I'm about to get in my car, everybody, Truman Show mimics me. They walk out to their vehicle, they crank up. When I leave out, there's a whole line of cars
Oh yeah.
directly behind me, and wherever I go, that's exactly where they're at. They're on their
Oh yeah.
phones. It's just a weird time that we live in. The scripture says these are perilous times, and I'm living it. You know, I'm pretty sure they're breaking into my house. They've broken into my vehicles, and this has been over a decade of of the same old, same old. They're on my job. I'm not sure what kind of lies, rumors, or false narrative they got going on, but I'm in the Truman Show,
Right.
and anybody who gets close to me, pretty much is an agent, 100% of the time. They're always agents, and it's sad that even our family is a part of this system out to destroy us.
Yep.
You know,
But
and
you
so
remember that, that video I just sent you with Congress, Jim Jordan, and them was exposing DOJ and the FBI for, you know, um, putting people on this domestic terrorist list because somebody can just call them if they don't like them and do it. Well, since I uploaded that video to my channel, as well as when I leave my home now, everything I play is about what I'm going through, whether it's music, like what we listen, Here Comes Judah, or Young Steal them about the America, or the guy Cliff View. I'll play videos basically to hopefully somebody will hear something, and it will click, and it will take them out of that heavy, deep mind control they have that they're under. Well, since that video that I was telling you about, where the Congress, Jim Jordan and them, they did, that's what I boom in my car when I'm leaving. Hopefully somebody will get this. Like, y'all are working with the enemy. This is all illegal. It's against the law. It's against humanity. Period. Man, I'm
and,
telling you, my targeting has increased times 10. They are doing the most right now. Just like the other video I uploaded, like they gave me this the whole day. I just saying white vehicles, nothing more than white vehicles. And I uploaded the video. I'm like, my, what's up with all the white vehicles? Question mark. That's on my channel. It's like, I know it's witchcraft. These devils are all working in witchcraft. Okay, so it was just a damn white vehicles. They riding my bumper very aggressively. I won't have nothing behind me. Then all of a sudden you'll just see a vehicle coming up on me, and I record it. I'm at a very high speed when I'm in a work zone, and the speed limit is 35. They doing about 55, 60, coming up on my bumper and expecting me to move out the way or speed with them, till it makes me initially, I'm prompt to go slower. Why? Because I'm not afraid. Whatever's gonna happen. But I'm gonna show you, you're not gonna move me. Period. That's
and
just on period.
and you said something very deep. For the longest, as we were complaining about this community harassment, where the FBI had quickly hired and trained millions of U.S. citizens to be informants and community based agents,
Yep.
or CBAs, for their national security apparatus. They said we were delusional, that
Uh-huh.
this wasn't happening, that the FBI hadn't weaponized the citizens against the people, and many of our colleagues in this struggle had been falsely locked up in these mental institutes.
Yep.
But if you look at the congressional court hearings, and that have these whistleblowers coming forth, and senators like Mike Johnson, Jim Jordan is
Uh-huh.
exposing this thing.
Uh-huh.
The whole time, we weren't crazy. These people that's
No.
been locked up, like Call Me Nappy,
Mm-hmm.
out in San
Nappy head
Jose,
wisdom.
California,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
were not crazy. The FBI have swindled U.S. Treasury dollars in order to once again fund a covert war. This is nothing new. They've
Mm-hmm.
done this time after time. They funded a covert secret war against the black communities in the 1950s, 60s, and early part of the 70s. Go look it up, people. It was called the counterintelligence uh, program. It was started, funded by J. Edgar Hoover, and it still exists today. That war have resurfaced. Why you think a lot of these major banks are going bankrupt? Where's the money going? It's how else can you pay 1 million people? You know what I mean? So much money to harass their neighbors. How can you? Um, it's got you on. Are you still on? Uniquely made warrior. Hello, hello. It still got you on for some reason or the other. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me? There's something going on with this channel, but I can actually hear you. Um, if you're on, I'm not sure what the deal is here. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but apparently we must have said some trigger words, and these low down dirty bastards are, they're mad. But I'm just going to continue to speak this truth. Uh,
I'm back up.
and tell the truth and shame the devil. The reason why these banks are going bankrupt is because the feds have misappropriated this money in order to um, do this community policing harassment program. This is exactly what have happened. People getting
Exactly.
cars purchased for them, getting homes purchased for them, getting food allotments and housing vouchers and all this stuff. You seem to be on, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, they don't want you on. They these demons, for whatever reason, they seem to be in in this live stream trying to disrupt it. But I want the citizens of America to know that the FBI and the NSA and the Department of Homeland Security have bankrupted this country with this secret warfare that they have funded. It's nothing new. The CIA, um, funded a war in Nicaragua, Central America, and they done it with drug money that by um, using their cartel that they created to traffic drugs into the black community. So know your history. Those that don't know their history are bound to repeat it. For some reason or another, uniquely made warrior, it don't want to let you in. Let
Can
me
you hear
try.
me?
Let me try to come out and then come
I'm in the
back
show.
in
Can you hear me?
to the live stream. See if that works. I'm going to exit out and then come back in. Yeah. Hopefully we're both back on. I just added you, uniquely made warrior. You should be. I can hear you now. These demons, boy, they get mad at this truth. You know how we do when we expose these devils with this word of truth, man. They gotta hop in the live stream and try to infiltrate it.
Exactly. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, cool. Yeah, my phone actually is getting hot to the touch again. So it's probably on my end that they're doing it too. So, hmm yeah, it's making my phone hot all of a sudden. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still here. I'm reading
Okay.
these comments.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Fred Mad said eventually they cannot keep up with the payment for these criminals. Exactly. And this is why come the banks have elapsed. Why do you think all these major banks are going bankrupt? What
Exactly.
have happened to the money at the U.S. Treasury, man? These idiots that are getting paid to go to and fro throughout the earth and torment the righteous have been benefactors of a corrupt, covert war against innocent men, women, and children. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They eventually started it off as, inmates or suspects or whatever the case may be, underneath the Phoenix program, being underneath constant watch and surveillance for when they started the Community Watch program back in the 1990s underneath the Bush administration, right? The first Bush administration. Even then, it was always the demonic, agenda to get it to the point that we're in right now, where it's everybody participating in, the Babylonian system. I have no criminal background, but I'm watched like a criminal.
Exactly.
You know, I'm being tortured and tormented like in Warsaw or a DACO, a Nazi camp. This is happening right here in the United States of America.
Yep.
I've been forced into homelessness. I've been beaten. I've been poisoned. I've been drugged. I've been violated in ways that'll make the average person want to throw up. And this is all at the hands of the FBI and CIA. I'm not telling you a lie. I'm telling you the truth.
I believe it.
You know what I mean? And this is what's happening here in the United States of America. Unfortunately, they got way too greedy and there's no more money left. These idiots have bankrupted the country. The country was already bankrupt. What little bit they did have left is gone. You know what I mean? You've used it all up. There's no distribution, America is broke. Babylon is broke, and the only thing that can happen from here is Babylon doing what it does best when it gets broke, and that start some sort of fake, erroneous, unnecessary war, and seeing innocent children off to go fight a battle to acquisition resources from sovereign nations so that they can try to pay their debts to, um, you know, the IMF, Russia, and China, because that's who they owe. The central bankers, they owe the Russians, and they owe the Chinese. And guess what? All three of them is going to get their money.
Mm-hmm.
These are truths. These are the facts. You can either listen to it and come out of this Babylon system and be set free, or you can continue to be like, hey man, that dude's crazy. What is he talking about? He's a conspiracy theorist. Okay, say whatever you want to. I'm not here to try to um, make you believe what I'm saying. That's not what I'm here for. I'm just here to speak it. If you get it, then you get it. If you don't, oh well.
That part.
Uh, It says, hang on, MT, these perps are screwing with the lines. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on. Uh, and, they've disrupted this live stream. They've kicked a lot of people out. We had it was showing we had 7 people. It went from 7 to 2, all of a sudden. So I don't know what's going on. I'm going to end this live stream and then we're going to try to come back later on because they've gotten in here. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, peace and blessings to everyone. And case, I'll holler at you in a little bit.
Hey, I definitely
Look
will.
at the live time that we's in here. 1:44. I accept that. I receive it.
Oh
Okay.
man, yes indeed, yes indeed.
1:44. I always see that time lately, yo. I'm telling
Yeah.
the truth.
Hey man, we own it. You
That's
know.
right. That's
All right.
right. Later.
Blessings.